and turned on the news and saw what had happened just 3 blocks from my house. That was in 2009, and a movement emerged here in Oakland.
Yes.
A coalition emerged here in Oakland.
Right.
And that coalition was hard work.
Right.
People got in the streets because we were pissed.
Right.
How could you kill someone whose time it was not yet?
Right.
It wasn't Oscar's time.
That's right.
I didn't know Oscar. But when people took the streets, I took the streets.
Right.
Because this is my community. This is where I live. This is where I build my family. This is where my community is. And so whatever happens to a member of my community happens to me. So people got in the streets, and y'all remember it was lit. There were tanks in West Oakland. There were sound cannons. There were all kinds of ways that the state was trying to stop people from expressing anger. Folks hadn't even gotten to the demands yet. Let me say that again. Folks hadn't even gotten to the demands yet. We just wanted to be able to say this is not right. To not brush it under the rug, as Alameda County tried to do. And as y'all remember, what they tried to do was just keep moving. Oh, that was just another black man killed on the platform.
They tried it.
Let's keep moving.
They tried it.
But folks wouldn't let the machine keep moving. And so you had folks like Onyx, that is now the Anti-Police Terror Project, right? You had all kinds of people coming together to say, no, we're going to change this. Because it's not okay, and we're not going to keep going. And we're not just going to keep screaming about how mad we are, we're going to change it. Now, coalition work is hard, y'all. People don't get along. People don't have the same line. We don't have the same vision. We don't have the same politics. So all of a sudden people, okay, I'm in my corner. Okay, you in your corner. And we got to figure out how to get people to agree.
Right.
But the thing that people kept focused on was justice for Oscar,
Right.
justice for Wanda, justice for Uncle Bobby, justice for Tatiana, and justice for every single mother who has lost the being that she carried for 9 months. Justice for every family member who has an empty seat at the table on holidays, during family gatherings. See, we have to understand that to build the movement that is going to change this world, to build the kind of movement that we need so that there are no more Oscar Grants, no more Sandra Blands, so that there are no more families grieving and commemorating the losses of their loved ones. If we want to build that kind of movement, we got to figure out how to move together, even if we're not all always on the same page about every little thing. Now, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Alicia Garza, and I'm one of the co-creators of Black Lives Matter. We got Sister Melina here, and from BLM Los Angeles, that is one of the many chapters of Black Lives Matter doing this work, not for cameras,
Right.
not for interviews, not for money. And I know some of y'all be like, well, what about that Soros money? Stop that.
Right. Yeah.
What about the people who are organizing in our communities to change what's happening, not just in Oakland, not just in St. Louis, but all over this country and all over the world?
Right.
So I was talking about coalitions. And you know, for 2018, there's a lot of things I'm leaving in 2017. I was just telling my sister this, right? Because we were talking about the many fissures that exist. The many fissures. Okay, people want to get mad when you step out and say, this is my lane. What you mean you're going to take a lane? We need many lanes.
Right.
We need many lanes. We don't all have to be doing the same thing, but we all need to be focused on the same goal.
Right.
Which is that our families get to grow up to be adults.
Right.
Which is that we get to live in dignity. Which is that we get to live connected to one another rather than preying on one another, because that is what capitalism does.
Right.
Let me say that again, because y'all don't hear me though. See, I'm not doing the all lives matter thing, and let me tell you why.
Exactly why.
Because we already know all lives matter. We don't have to keep saying that. What we need to do is actualize it. We need to make it real. So yes, every single life matters, and it doesn't just have to be black. But y'all, right now, black lives do not matter. So let's say Black Lives Matter, and let's organize to make sure that Black Lives matter, so that every life can matter.
Right.
Y'all don't hear me though.
I hear you. Teach, sister.
Now, in 2018, what I'm recommitting myself to do is to build the kind of movement that will involve millions.
That's right.
Millions.
Yes.
Not hundreds,
it.
not thousands, not even hundreds of thousands, but millions. There are 330 million people in this country. We need to build a movement in the millions.
That's right.
And so the way that we do that is by finding our lane and coming together. We need the culture workers. We need the ancestor workers. We need the organizers. We need the religious and the faith-based community. We need the mothers who said no more and then built a group, right? Because they're like, check this out. The way that they break us is to isolate us. We need the journalists. We need the babies. We need the elders. We don't all have to be doing the same thing, but we do all have to commit to coming together and staying together. So will you join me in 2018 to recommit to building a movement in the millions? I can't hear you. Can we recommit to building a movement in the millions? Can we make sure that movement has the faces of every single one of us times a million? Can we fight for the brothers? Can we fight for the sisters? Can we fight for the people in between? Can we fight for the poor people? Can we fight for the middle class people? Because y'all, there's really no middle class in this country.
Thank you.
Can we fight for the babies? Can we fight to make sure that we can protect our families? Can we fight for a world where we don't need to call police to solve problems? I want you to sit with that for a second. Can we fight for a world where we can solve problems ourselves? Can we solve problems without guns? Sit with that for a minute. There's more guns in this country than people. So when we call police to solve problems, we're asking them to use their guns to help solve problems. We can do it better. I know we can. We do it all the time. Now, where I live, just a few blocks up here, we can't call police because they don't come. So we have to figure out how to solve problems. 2018, let us commit to solving our own issues by connection, accountability that allows for people to remain whole, families to remain whole. Yes, that's right. It's time. I'm sorry, I'm preaching.
If we were like 4 o'clock,
Yes, sister, I'm sorry.
get
Yes, I'm sorry, thank you. All right, y'all, I'm out.